Good morning, guys. Okay, today we are going to work on more of our main ideas, supporting ideas, kind of like what we worked on yesterday. We had that story about Black Beauty, and we went through and we found those supporting details. We highlighted them, we put them on the board, and then we made that big circle graph. Does anyone remember? Okay, that's kind of like what we're going to do today, but we're going to do it with a different story. So, remember, today what we're going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to read it to you. And then after I've read it to you, you're going to have time to read it yourself. Because sometimes you need to read things twice. And then you're going to go through and you're going to highlight what you think is important. And then we're going to work it together on the board. Okay? So, if you go ahead right now, get out your pencil, your highlighter, and a piece of paper just for you to write some ideas on. That would be great. John, if you'll go around and pass out the papers, they're back there on the desk, and pass them out to everyone, and then we'll get started. So, once you've got all that collected, we'll start reading. Okay. All right. So, it's about Benjamin Franklin. It's a scientist and inventor. So, we already know by that title, because we read every single title, that it's going to be about him being a scientist and being an inventor, correct? Okay, so it says, while Benjamin Franklin is known as a statesman and diplomat, he was also an accomplished inventor and scientist. Franklin was mainly a printer by profession, but he also investigated natural phenomena such as ocean currents and lightning. His marine research led to his publication of a map of the Gulf Stream currents. Franklin developed theories about electricity made famous by his experiment with a kite and a key during a lightning storm. As a result of his work with electricity, Franklin invented the lightning rod, which protected buildings from lightning strikes. Always curious and imaginative, Franklin also invented the bifocal glasses, the Franklin stove, an odometer for carriages, and a musical instrument called a glass harmonica. He investigated evaporation as a cooling technique and designed nautical enhancements, including watertight compartments. Okay, so that was it of the short passage. It's very short, it's very simple. It could have been in a longer story, but this is the only passage we're working with today. So now what I want you to do is go through the passage, get out a highlighter, and as we're going, highlight important details that you hear that are about Benjamin Franklin being a scientist and inventor. So you're going to have time to go through and do that real quick. Once you're done, I want you to get your papers, turn them over on your desk. Remember, be quiet, because everybody else needs time to read to themselves, and you need to be respectful. This is when they would read by themselves. Okay. Okay, so now, let's pay attention on the board. I want to go through and I want to get some of the supporting ideas from y'all. Okay? So, can anybody tell me one of the things they highlighted that they think is important about Benjamin Franklin in the passage? Okay, what was that? Okay, he studied electricity. So, he studied electricity. That's a good one. Okay, so we have that one. Does anyone have anything else that they highlighted? He invented the bifocals. That's a good one. Because the passage, the title was a scientist and inventor. So that makes perfect sense. Good answer. Anybody have anything else? Yes. He invented the lightning rod. Good job. The lightning rod. Okay, and let's get one more before we form that whole main idea. One more supporting detail. Yes. Okay. So, he published, what did you say? A map, okay, of the Gulf Stream currents. Miss Burley's marker's acting crazy. Okay, so there is our 4 supporting details. All of these details link to one thing of that main idea. Okay, so like we did yesterday, that big circle graph that we drew, go ahead and draw that again. This is your circle. These are your lines out and draw some more circles. Just like a web graph or a circle graph, this is how it goes. So then we're going to plug all of these answers into here. Okay, so this one would go here, this one could go here, this one here, and this one here. So you have supporting ideas in all of those bubbles. Okay, so all of those ideas link to one main thing. And what would that one main thing be? Does anyone have a clue? That he was an inventor? Yes, because he invented. Okay, does anyone else have a clue? So we can say this passage is about who? Benjamin Franklin. Ben Franklin was an inventor. Was he anything else? Anything else? A scientist. Good job. So there's our main idea. This main idea links to all these supporting ideas because they are telling you what he did, he invented, what he published, all of those link to that one idea. Okay? So that's a good job. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to give you another passage. You're going to do this by yourself. You need to get out a separate sheet of paper so you can make the circle graph. Anytime we're doing it, you can do it off to the side, on the back, or whatever, but I need to see the circle graph. You need to see that you're working them in your head, you're highlighting, and you're pointing out specific information. So I will get those to my desk, and then if you will sit and be quiet until I get them to you. Thanks.